Hey, you're watching GEEKCASTER. This is the after show. We had a heated, not in a negative way, but a loving way, heated, loving conversation about a whole bunch of different things. So you need to figure that out for yourself. But anyone that's jumping in right now, ain't that messed up? Anyone that's checking out right now, you're watching GEEKCASTER. We're here live, and I'm Michael Seven. Michael, this is the after show. We have. Yep.
Dayveonne Bussey.
Corey Davis.
Sailor Leone.
Cool. So we were talking about fat phobia, and it kind of with these characters, Ruby and what's the other character's name? Ruby's sister. Letty from Lovecraft Country. Oh, by the way, you guys know today is Journey's
Nigerian Independence Day.
Is what?
Nigerian Independence Day.
It is?
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's the same day as Journey Smollett's birthday. She turned 34. All right.
Excuse me, who?
Letty.
Who?
Letty.
Who?
Letitia.
Oh, it's her birthday.
So.
Oh, she's 34 now. Wow.
Yeah. So, definitely, guys, it's really worth it to check out the last conversation. Lovecraft Country, talked about episode 7. We talked about ID4 from Volkswagen, Fat Phobia, and The Boys. But this episode, we're going to talk about the presidential debate.
Oh, goodness. Here we go.
From a geek perspective.
Okay, I'm going to do this one last time.
So this is going to be interesting because, and we're going to see how we can do this. Within this is going to be the debate, but only from a very analytical, not pro any particular party, right? Just
Right.
Conversation and the ability to debate. And then we're going to go into the great hack, because we all saw that. And we can piggyback with Social Dilemma, because I think it makes sense. So first, let's just say...
Mike,
Yeah, go ahead.
we also forgot to talk about how cosplay is shooting and how they're getting filmed and what it takes to be a photographer in those scenarios. So we can talk about that during the show.
Yeah, we'll see if we have time for that one. So...
All right.
Okay. And Sailor, we spoke about this also this week. The art of the debate.
Yes.
If we can't debate, you know what I mean? Or so should I say, if the older generation, because Trump and Biden are not spring chickens, if they can't debate and show us how to just communicate and say your views and opposing views and respect each other, how do you expect us to be able to do that?
Because there's also a responsibility we have, and there's a responsibility that comes with the person in office. I just think even in social media, before even this debate, a lot of people don't know how to debate, don't know how to talk to one another, don't know how to listen and get your point across. And if someone says a viewpoint that is obviously different from yours, people don't have the know how to listen to that, incorporate it into their daily lives in order to give an accurate response. So the whole dynamics of debating has been lost.
Well, I wouldn't say it's been lost. I just think that people need to basically learn how to debate. I think we got so comfortable with social media, our own opinions, forcing it down other people's throats. So I just actually learning how to talk to one another without it being a confrontation.
But that's one of the downsides of technology. If I'm talking to you and we're discussing something, there's tonality, there's some indications and inflections in my voice that tell you, I understand what you're saying, I don't necessarily agree with it this way. But when you're reading text, there's no tone, there's no tonality, and all you get is just the words, and people infer that however they want, and sometimes go way to the right with maybe it was a joke, maybe it's just a simple statement. So I think that's just one of the downsides of technology in today's society.
Yeah, and just for anyone that
And I agree with you on that because,
okay,
sorry, I said I'll agree with you with that, Corey, because there's a lot of people that just judge people by what they write in text, besides actually hearing their voices and hearing what their response is. Because a lot of people will, let's say, for instance, I text you about something, you don't know what my physical and mental reaction is towards that text. All you know is you just reading it. And a lot of times when you read stuff from people, it's not at the level of, let's say, a storybook where you could tell from someone getting excited to someone that's just basically talking to you. So a lot of people that do the text, and I'm sorry to say this to the audience and us, it's below reading comprehension.
well,
It's
even
a lot of
but there's a lot of biases that we walk with, and it's yeah, you could definitely read something. Hey, how you doing? Or hey, how you doing? Like, why you got the attitude? But you put that in the words because of what's
yeah,
in you, or
it's
past experience. Because if you know someone that's always sarcastic and they text you, you're gonna read in their voice. But let's pass technology, just having to do with the presidential debate as an example. We can't move forward if we're going to always be in attack mode, when we're always thinking the worst, or we always have to push our feelings and emotions forward rather than actually listening. Listening is a part of communication, taking in information rather than just spreading out. But how can we do that if the older generation is not going to show us the way to do that?
Well, I think some of the older generation, I don't think this debate was a good example of the older generation, just like how we are not an example of our generation. There's a whole bunch of different personalities and stuff like that. But if you talk to your grandparents, I'm pretty sure that they don't act like that, and you can get a lot more information out of them. This was just an example of leadership rather than an example of the older generation having a debate.
Mm.
In my opinion, at least.
I'm half and half on that. Honestly, I feel like I'm part of the younger generation, definitely, who realizes like a lot of things in the past weren't okay. And of course, as we get educated, things have to change, you know, as we learn about misogyny, as we learn about colorism, as we learn about fat phobia, and all these things. I definitely agree that emotions shouldn't be involved, but I also feel like having a passion for something does not negate your logic on it. And I also feel like if you are able to make a statement and have someone listen to you, and you're okay with just making that statement and someone saying, okay, that's cool. But if when you make a statement and you're asked to do research and show facts and back yourself up, it's kind of just like, where is that other person going to do that? You know, like are we both listening? You know, I feel like definitely people should act the way they want to be like treated and things like that, especially when we have these debates. But it gets really, really toxic with the older generation. Like, yikes.
And you know what?
I have these two older.
Do you think, Sailor, it's a fear of wanting to be wrong? Like a fear of maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm... It seems like some situation, like for instance, the presidential debate, the more I say it and the more the more true it becomes. Rather than...
No.
You could do backflips all day. Just because you say the sky is purple doesn't automatically make it purple. It doesn't matter how much passion you have. And then also we have to think of like, well, as a society, we said this is the color blue. We all kind of said this is what blue is. So yes, the sky is purple because you have a right to say but in the communal reality. there's certain boundaries, like the concept of fake news. That makes no sense. Because news, first of all, this is a little, news just means north, east, west, and south. That's what news means. That's where it comes from. That's the root comes from. It's what's going on north of you, south of you, east, and west. So that's what's going on. It's the reality, the common reality of what's going on. That's factual. So when you add the word fake to it, it's like what do they call alternative facts? There's no alternative to the facts. But
there kind of is, because like if you look up satire,
it's fake news. It's not real.
It's like, oh, have a death battle. Like that's fake news. That's not really news. It's not really happening. So there is fake news out there, but it's not fake news saying like this fact is not a fact. We do have to differentiate that. Obviously, we have to.
So it's like saying fiction and then non-fiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess.
Or like,
you said I guess.
Facebook and Twitter, Facebook and Twitter shut down all this fake news. Like, if you have WhatsApp, do you understand how many chain letters we still get? Like, come on, y'all. Like, fake news spreads like watching Social Dilemma. You should understand.
Perfect segue. Perfect segue. Social Dilemma. We talked about it, but we have to talk about it again. Please watch it. Please get because it just shows how these media companies are manipulating us as a society. And you have to watch The Great Hack, because this one shows just how these media companies are stealing our information, pushing us to vote, and pushing us to sometimes not vote, which is affecting countries all over the world. Like, it's a real thing. It's not fake. It's not fake news.
So, the thing is, it is.
Mm-hmm.
People spread fake news to the community. The community reacts to the fake news and causes real news. Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand that there are, what is his name? Dr. Umar. Like, there are Dr. Umar type videos being circulated on the internet, and people are going to believe that stuff because they don't reference check, And now that's why Twitter and Facebook, especially with the elections coming in, there are so many people who are misinformed. And of course, as we spoke, a lot of our feeds show us what we want to see. So having certain things be said, like, unfortunately, our president has said some things that Twitter has removed because it's like, that's not real. This is not based on science. You cannot say that coronavirus is gone from this place when it's showing that this is what it is. So even going into a journalistic topic type of, and understanding news, a lot of people got over real news. And that's why fake tabloids came along. All this fake news starts you got to think about how they were putting out fake news before social media and tabloids and lies about scandals and all that stuff. But now it's issues with religion and issues with who's the leader. Like in my country, when the party switched, everybody went crazy on certain apps, of course. And it took to the streets and people were pushed out of their homes and some people were killed. So it's just you have to really understand how some people are invested and either are new to things that we know. Like, how many people would say their parents know not to click on spam emails that will put a bug in their email? How many people do we know that won't click on the text message that's sent saying your Amazon order? Where's the wherewithal for all that?
There's I'm looking this up because I think it's really important. There's a bunch of documentaries dealing with the war. There's one called 5 Came Back. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it basically, Hollywood hired 5 movie directors, Oscar award winning directors, to go and film in Europe during World War II. And some of the footage that we see today, as far as the concentration camps and a lot of the different things, are from these 5 men. And just to, like, they were using propaganda. They always talk about the propaganda that Germany used and Japan used, but there were propaganda in America. What happened? What are you doing? You're dancing?
It's all fake news. It's all fake news. That's fake news. Before fake news was a thing. Propaganda. Propaganda.
So watch it. I think it's really good. It's a really good documentary. I know we don't really talk about documentaries, but we started to kind of, I guess, The Great Hack. And
are we gonna talk about true crime, y'all? Because let me tell you.
Ooh.
What?
Dirty John. Dirty John.
Tell it. It's awful.
No, I love true crime. Like, I really like true crime. I like, it has to be solved. It has to be solved, because unsolved makes me angry. The person could be dead. The person could still be out there. But if we want to talk about true crime documentaries and have a little section about it, I got y'all.
Well, you know what? The month of October, we can do that, and we're going to also do some scary movies, our picks. So we'll do that starting next week. So everyone hopefully check that out. And if you've seen this as a rerun, yes, this happened at a particular time. Oh well. Oh well.
I'm gonna cosplay.
Foresight.
Yeah.
The last 2 episodes of October.
So what do you guys think? I mean, between The Great Hack and Social Dilemma and the social disaster of the last debate, where are we going? What is your geek
are we gonna
tech?
talk about the debate for real though? Like,
So, Trevor Noah did offer some advice on going forward with the next debate. Having actual fact checkers while the debate is going on.
yes, what are these numbers?
CNN does it now. If someone's broadcasting, you can, like, put a little typecast that goes on the bottom screen. This is false information, or what about it is false. You can do that in real time. You have the technology. The second thing, which I think they're going to incorporate it, because I did see it, I don't know if it's going to happen or it's factual, that if someone is disruptive or being a bully, turn the microphone off. And so let the other person have their speech, have overlapping, blah, blah. So that should be incorporated. I think those are some good ideas.
Well,
what about the
It's okay, Dayveonne.
Okay, what about those that taking shots at family members that, that's not even involved with this whole entire election? Because the way Trump did it, that was kind of disrespectful.
You're disqualified. You should be disqualified. You can't talk anymore. No. I feel
because yeah, but it was really a slap in the face, because it's like you did a debate, and that's not how a debate is run. You're supposed to talk about the facts. He's just throwing shot after shot, and it was like you're targeting a guy's son who died, and also the one that's recovering from drugs. That stuff is personal. And be honest with you, Biden didn't mention anything about his kids during the debate. Nothing about his kids.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Colin Powell, who was our Secretary of Defense a long time ago, was actually thinking about running for president. But he didn't run because they were already, once he put the notion out that he possibly might run, tabloids already started going in on his wife. His wife had a mental disorder, and they were like, we don't want a crazy first lady, so he opted out. This is not the first time that this happens in a presidential debate, and it's not going to be the last. How do we fix that going forward? I don't think that there is a fix, because people will always be people, and it's just the downside of the human experience. I think people are going to use whatever leverage they can and however capacity that they can. So just to get the American people slightly to the left on somebody because of a family member, it's never right. I don't think it should be right, but it's not going to go away anytime soon.
Okay, so what I feel like we have to do is treat these adults like children. I'm a very type A type of person, and when children start acting like that, we're not doing this anymore. if you interrupt me as the moderator, we're not doing this anymore. You are literally not talking for 30 minutes now. Sorry. If you want to play these games, you are not allowed to speak. Or you're going to go to the backstage while he has his 10 minutes, and then we're going to switch it. I don't care. You're not going to disrespect me as the moderator. You're not going to disrespect him. This is a debate. This is America. We are here to talk about real issues. You're not here to smear. As soon as he said that thing about his son, you should have been taken to the back and be in timeout. I'm sorry. Like, that was so disrespectful. But thank you, Joe Biden, for being a real father. Because think about it, he could have like really tried to like push that away. You know, he didn't even like, he's like, yes, my son is working on it and I'm proud of him. And I almost cried because I was like, wow, look at your dad trying to be president, telling you that he's proud of you and that you're working on your thing. You know, like, he could have done that so much worse. And I feel like he handled that very well. But it was definitely hurtful. It's so hurtful. I have 2 sons.
Yeah.
And then you talk about
oof. And not only that, I really felt like he was about to punch Trump. I really felt that. It was like he was ready to hit him, mentioning his kids. And you couldn't blame him. If he would have punched him on stage, you couldn't blame him.
Right. But then I think that could have gone.
Wouldn't have got presidency.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if I was in that position, I would have done that, or the argument could have went, "Oh, that's not how a president should act." So
yeah, like there are different ways you could go about it and shut down people, right? But Trump is a person that wants you to stoop to his level, and he still didn't stoop to his level fully. But because of how they were interacting with each other, we never got the full answer on anything.
Facts.
That's true. We didn't get any information.
Time out. I don't care. Next debate. You gotta, like, the moderator was getting very frustrated. I know that. And I'm sorry. I have to speak with you like you're a child at this point. So it's Mr. President.
And Sailor, you bring up a really good point.
Speak to me this way.
I think, Sailor, you bring a really good point because there's a bunch of people that, the rumors, right? Oh, maybe they shouldn't do any debates. And it's like, no, grow up and learn how to do it right. Because if they were to do that, the only ones that lose is the American people. We lose because at the end of the day, you didn't give us any information. Why are we voting for either of you? Like you're, because everybody builds the case. Well, you're voting for me, but remember, it's not even about me. You're voting against that one. No, you're voting against that one.
Yes.
And they're not voting for information. Yeah. Or a plan. Like a real plan to get anything done.
I'm just saying, now I see why Kanye's running. And like, I would vote for Kanye after this.
I would not. I'm sorry.
I would.
When he talks about certain topics, I don't feel like it's healthy for him to be in American lead.
Why would you even... I'm sorry.
Yeah, man,
I hope you were
sorry,
kidding, Corey.
Like, the baby, I'm sorry, the baby, he was like, y'all, you know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for what's his name. And I don't know if he has a charge, but apparently he can't vote. This is allegedly he can't vote.
You talking about Baby the rapper?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He tweeted this. And you have to understand the way people have influence and on certain minds and how it affects them. How certain rappers or certain artists and how they treat people is affected by their audience. It affects their audience, you know?
Now, who is Baby voting for?
Kanye. He said, y'all better vote for Kanye. Like,
wow.
And this is kind of what happens, right? This is how we got into this mess in the first.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
No, it was a joke, but the first presidency wasn't a joke. We put somebody in office who had no business being there because there was no experience. There was no type of time spent doing any type of politics in government. And we were like, well, you know, he's running and maybe we should give that guy a chance. They said the same thing with Nixon. He's a movie star and let's take him seriously. So it's already out there. It's already in our society that, hey, if you want to go be whatever you want to be in America, that's the American dream, then just do it. So I understand how some of these things can be a joke but be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line between that, you know what I mean? So I don't know how we even remedy that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's Well, what are your predictions for the next Wednesday? Because now the vice president debate, which I feel is going to be totally opposite than the first one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Harris.
Well, not who's going to win or lose. As far as how do you think it'll be conducted? Do you think they're going to give them a lot of rules straight out the gate, or?
Oh, yes, they're gonna give them a lot of rules because they're trying to prevent what happened from the first one, so it doesn't happen for the second one. So it would make sense that they have some type of order, if so nothing goes out of context, or just keep it steady into dealing with the topics, dealing with what's need to be talked about, and no interruptions. So I hope this actually basically was a lesson to the upcoming debates, because by all means, we just don't want another crap show like it was the first one.
I think we need to have 5 minutes in the opening. Let them know this is the rules of the debate. This is how we're going to do the debate, because this is how debates should be ran. And if no one follows the rules, I think we should implement the turning off the mic. I don't think necessarily sending them to the back is going to work. Because when they come back, they're going to say this where they left off from leaving the stage. So I think that should happen. And it's feasible. It's not like it's hard. You can clearly turn someone's mic off for a second. Maybe the moderator should have it. This sound guy definitely can do it, but someone needs to do it.
I agree. So we'll see what happens. So the art of the debate. I mean, you could Google, and you'll probably end up at YouTube anyway. So just go to YouTube. But you could search on YouTube, and you could see different debates in history, different presidential debates. Never. I mean, people have gotten heated. People have interrupted people. People have disrespected people. But it's never been at this all-time low. And another good thing is watching old college debates.
The Great Debaters.
The movie,
yes.
Right. There's rules to this thing. So.
Exactly.
All right, everybody give your social media.
Y'all. Taylor Leone cosplay. But someone just talked about something really cool.
Dayveonne Bussey on all social media platforms, and Jamal Williams.
Corey Davis, I am GT3. I am GT3 on all the things.
It's just funny when you say it that way. Michael7Michael on Instagram. You're watching GEEKCASTER. You can go to geekcaster.com. Hopefully you're watching us on cable. The cable information's on the website, or you could go to our Instagram. Some of the stuff is there, but definitely if you want to find everything, go to geekcaster.com. Thank you so much for checking us out. And hey, leave replies, give us comments. Let us know what you think.
You're not reading them.
Yeah.
You're not reading it. Read it. Read it.
I can't. You're putting private messages during the show. How am I going to do that? Pressing the buttons. Hold on a second.
It's not private messages. It's literally comments on the video.
It's comments on the
Facebook
video?
Live.
Oh.
Well,
you know what? We need to do a show so you guys realize what's going on over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there something? Well, you read it. You can see it. Read it. Say something.
Oh, wow.
You know what? Where's my...
Well,
I was told
I'm going to say...
Because we have literally...
Whoever... Oh.
Good.
Sorry. Whoever Mike is, he said shutting off the mics will end with Trump trying to fight Biden for the live mic.
Yo! Stop. But it's true. We also have to talk about voter suppression and how that does come off of fake news, too.
I was just about to read that.
Yeah,
I was like, yo. Did you guys see
really quick, do you guys want to do an after show? Because I got 10 seconds to shut this down. All right, if you're watching Facebook, we're going in tonight. Just sit tight. We're gonna pause this and keep going.
I'm gonna read your comments, friends.
And we're gonna read your
comments.
Because we are live, ladies and gentlemen.